TFI Global, 4th of February 2023, with closer ties to the Caribbean, China's scheme to trap the United States has begun. 2 Chinese spy balloons have been discovered drifting around the Americas in the past 48 hours. Yesterday, when a Chinese balloon was spotted circling above U.S. military intercontinental ballistic missile silos, the United States of America was frightened. Even aircraft were deployed to shoot the balloon down, and the U.S. Northern Command worked with NASA to determine the debris field. A new Chinese spy balloon over Latin America has been discovered. This is only a few days after China decided to strengthen its ties with the Caribbean nations. Oh yes, unquestionably a coincidence. In the fields of 5G technology, air travel, and the Global Development Initiative, China is reportedly anxious to improve its diplomatic relations with Barbados, according to press reports, GDI. And since China has been accused of spying on and hacking into other countries' networks, we can't rule out the possibility that it may do so in the Caribbean, given what it is capable of with its 5G equipment. Yan Chusheng, the People's Republic of China's ambassador to Barbados, recently visited Carrie Simmons, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, in the anteroom of the ministry on Culloden Road in St. Michael. Minister Simmons reaffirmed Barbados' commitment to upholding the One China policy after Ambassador Chusheng expressed his appreciation. Minister Simmons emphasized China's desire to advance its technology and creativity in Caribbean nations while discussing the 5G prospects. According to him, there are several areas where a fruitful relationship would be advantageous, like creating a national cloud, having innovative health and education systems, and eventually getting to the point where Barbados has a public Wi-Fi infrastructure. China's growth in the Caribbean. Anyone who pays close attention to geopolitics knows China is strengthening its position in the strategically significant Caribbean through infrastructure investment, COVID-19 assistance, and security sector support. China's commerce with Caribbean nations has significantly increased. Trade increased from $1 billion in 2002 to $8 billion in 2019, with an increase in Chinese exports accounting for 34% of that total. China has also invested heavily in real estate, energy, and infrastructure projects. As a result of the U.S. failure to maintain its influence over the Caribbean countries, U.S. interests in the region have been seriously threatened. Beijing is prepared to strengthen its military connections with Caribbean states as part of the Belt and Road Initiative, BRI, in disaster relief, peacekeeping, etc. Military officers from Barbados and Trinidad and Tobago have been sent to China for training, occasionally including exposure to the Chinese language and culture. The Dominican Republic opened the door for Chinese-Dominican cooperation, including a Chinese pledge to invest $10 billion in infrastructure, by recognizing Beijing and breaking ties with Taiwan in May. A similar situation applies to countries throughout Latin America. The vitriol against the U.S. in these countries has also been a significant factor in starting the process in the U.S.'s favor. To trap the USA, Canada and the Americas. We can see that China has hugely impacted Canada through investments as we climb just above the USA. In July 2022, there was a large telecom outage in Canada. At the time, several specialists attributed the blackout to China. Canada's communications sector genuinely uses Chinese equipment. The Canadian government has often been criticized for being too lenient with China, and on occasion, it has been referred to as China's puppet government. Barbados wants to go in the same direction even though Chinese technology has a reputation for monitoring its users. This most recent Chinese spy balloon instance shows only modest evidence that China is surrounding the United States from both ends. China's power has grown to the point where it no longer feels remorse or concern about spying on the U.S. It may appear as though the Caribbean or Canada have no idea what is going on, but the truth is that they typically keep quiet about Chinese efforts. This most recent event must warn the United States that there is not much time left to counter China.